children, welcome back to the channel. Today we will look at the concept called law of conservation of momentum. Already I gave you some details about this at end of last lecture. Okay, momentum means it is product of mass and velocity, no? That you know. Okay, product of mass and velocity. A body having mass m and moving with velocity v will be having the momentum mv. That is known to you. Law of conservation. Conservation means what? Conservation means remains same. What does it mean? Remains same. You study law of conservation of energy, right? What does law of conservation of energy? Energy in this universe remains same. Energy can neither be created nor be destroyed. It can be transferred from one form to another form. Yes or no? That is known to you. For example, you have all the grass here, dry grass. Dry grass. Okay, we are going into different level of discussion. This is not needed. But feel of law of conservation of momentum can be understood through these concepts only. Dry grass. If you burn it, whenever you burn dry grass, what will be there? Flames will be there, no? Like that. Flames. Yes or no? Flames means fire. You can just say fire. What does fire gives? Fire gives two things. First thing is heat. Yes or no? Plus again, along with heat I have light also. And along with light some smoke also comes out. Some smoke. So this dry grass is called bioenergy. What is this? Bioenergy. Why? It is real life, no? The grass which has dried, bioenergy. That has converted into heat energy, light energy, and smoke is also some kind of energy. But this is waste product, no? We don't want this. But still it comes. So whatever bioenergy was there, for example, I had 100 joule of dry grass. 100 joule as in this is energy. Actually dry grass can be 1 kg, 2 kg or something like that. But in terms of energy, if it is 100 joule, after this all together, whatever I am having here, it remains 100 joule only. So that is the meaning of conservation. Conservation means everything remains the same. Are you getting my point? For example, you have 20,000 rupees. You gave 2,000 rupees to someone else. You have 18,000 rupees, but you have given 2, no? So 18 plus 2 is 20. It remains, the total amount remains the same. Okay, so that is the meaning of conservation. But we got into different level of discussion. This will come in law of conservation of energy. Work, energy, power. Like that, there is one chapter, no? In that we'll study about all these energy types and all. Okay. So law of conservation of momentum means the momentum remains same. I wrote it now, remains same here. So momentum always remains same. That is before collision and after collision. I'll be talking about that also. Momentum means something related to movement of a body. Okay. So I have got one body here, mass m1, and it is moving with velocity u1. Okay. And I have got one more body here, m2. It is moving with velocity u2. If the condition is like u1 is greater than u2, it is moving with more velocity. That means after some time t, they will hit each other, no? So m1 and m2, they dash together. Yes or no? So they dash together, and afterwards what will happen? For example, m1 may move with velocity v1 and m2 may move with velocity v2. If they are sticking together after hitting, if they are sticking together, both will move with the same velocity. That will discuss in different case, in the further cases. But it is moving with velocity v1, v2. Somebody is dashing you from behind. What will happen? You will move forward, no? Yes or no? You will go with more speed. Rather than this u2, this v2 will be greater. So this v2 will be greater than u2. Why? Because some body has come and hit it. So it must be moving with high velocity than this. Okay, so that's why v2 is greater than u2. Now, this condition is called before collision. What is this? This condition is called before collision. I mean, they haven't collided yet. Colliding means dashing. Now, this is during the collision. What is this? This is during the collision. And this is after collision. After collision. Okay, the law says momentum before collision. Sum of momenta before collision. What is this? Sum of momenta, or sum of momentum also you can use, no issue. Sum of momentum before collision. Before collision. Momenta is in plural form of momentum, so that's why sum of momentum. Two are there, no? That's why. So sum of momentum before collision is equal to sum of momentum or momentum, both you can use. Okay, sum of momentum after collision. After collision. Okay, so what is the sum of momentum before collision? That is m1 u1 and m2 u2 added together, so it becomes like m1 u1 plus m2 u2. So that is equal to sum of momentum after collision. So m1 v1, m2 v2. So add them. So m1 v1 plus m2 v2. In the last class I have discussed this, but I haven't discussed the proof. You must be having some proof for this, no? So let us try to understand that. What is the proof for this? How to prove it? Whether I got one equation now, what is that? m1 u1 plus m2 u2 is equal to m1 v1 plus m2 v2. What is the check, reality check that it exists? What is the proof for this? So let us try to see. Now see here, whenever this body is hitting this body, it must be applying some force like this, no? Yes or no? So what is that? Let us call this as F12. What is the meaning of F12? F12 means force applied by first body on second body. What is this? Force applied by first body on second body. In the opposite direction, this is the action. For this action, there will be equal and opposite reaction. No? Yes or no? So let us call that as F21. F21 means what? Force applied by second body on first body. That's it. Are you getting my point? Now, this F12 and F21 are definitely equal. Their magnitudes are equal. If it is 10 Newton, this will also be 10 Newton. But in the opposite direction, no? So that's why we write F12 is equal to minus F21. Because they are equal and opposite. If it is 10, 10. But 10 and minus 10. That is what you need to understand. These are equal and opposite. Okay, fine. Now when I am taking the force applied by first body on second body. Now what is the formula for force applied by first body on second body? Force applied. What is the formula for that? Force means rate of change of momentum. No? What is that? Final momentum. Final momentum minus initial momentum. You can just write it as PF. P means what? Momentum. F means final. So final momentum minus initial momentum divided by time taken. That is known to you. Okay, final momentum minus initial momentum divided by time taken. Here also same formula. What is that? But minus will be there. So minus bracket PF minus PI divided by P. Now, how to measure force applied by F12? How much it is there? Force applied is directly proportional to rate of change of momentum. I told you. Initially, this body, second body, was moving with velocity u2, and its mass was m2. So m2 into u2 was initial momentum, and final momentum will be m2 divided by v2. That is the final momentum of second body. So that's why it becomes like m2 into v2 minus m2 into u2 divided by time taken. Understanding or not? How to measure force applied by this body on the other body? Force means what? Rate of change of momentum. That is change in momentum. Change in momentum means final momentum minus initial momentum divided by time taken. P is the symbol for momentum. F represents final. I already told you. So that's why m2 v2 minus m2 u2 divided by time taken. Now, how to measure this is equal to minus bracket. What is this? Minus F21 is there. Now, what is the meaning of F21? Second body is applying some force on first body. So, first body was having initial momentum m1 u1 and final momentum m1 v1. So, it becomes like final moment here it becomes m1 into v1. Then, I am going to have it as minus. Tell me, what will be the formula for this? m1 into u1 divided by time. I am talking about first body now, how it is getting affected due to this body. So first body is having initial momentum m1 u1 and afterwards it is having m1 into v1. So that's why final momentum is this much minus initial momentum. I hope you are getting what I am trying to say. If you are not getting, you have to see the previous videos also, then only you will be able to understand all these things. If you jump onto this video directly, definitely no, a big no. Okay, fine. So after that, time and time they will get cancelled. You can put this arrow marks. Okay, just to tell that something is going on here. That's it. So it becomes like m2 into v2. So m2 v2 minus m2 u2. Is that all right? That is equal to then minus into m1 v1. So it becomes like minus m1 v1. Then minus into minus it becomes plus. So plus into m1 u1. Now you put all plus sign one side and minus sign again. Make everything plus. So let us try to see. I need to rub it off. See that equation. By now, I think you must have got feel of this concept. What I am trying to say. Okay, fine. So already concept is known to you. We are just proving it. Now let us keep this m2 v2 this side only. So m2 into v2, let it be there. Okay. So again bring this minus m1 v1 this side. So it becomes like plus m1 v1. Okay. We can write it directly also. But as you are in 9th standard, if you were in 11th standard, I would have written it directly. But 9th standard, you will get confused with lot of things. So that's why we are going it step by step. So that's why whether more videos are made, that's not an issue. But you need to understand this concept because 9th standard is an opportunity to build your concept ready for 11th class. And in the same way, 10th standard concepts are made in proper way so that you can attend your 12th class easily. 9th and 10th, 10th and 12th are similar. 9, 11, 10, 12. You need to understand this. You are not preparing only for 9th standard. You are preparing yourself for 11th standard also. Please try to remember this. So m2, v2, then I have brought that. Then m1, u1, anyhow it is there. Let us take this minus m2, u2 that side. So it becomes like m1, u1 plus m2, u2. Done. Okay, so you can reverse it and you can write m1 u1 plus m2 u2 is equal to m1 v1 plus m2 v2. I am sorry for all this long lecture, but you need to understand that basic concept very thoroughly. Then only you can build your concepts. Now see this formula: m1 u1 plus m2 u2 is equal to m1 v1 plus m2 v2. So we started with Newton's third law of motion. What is this? Whatever I have written it is third law. So as per third law, I have derived this by using that formula. Third law is called real law actually. The Newton's laws of motion are there now. In that third law is only called as actual law. But how it is? Let us see it in other class because it will again take us into different stories. Now let us start making some numericals. Let us solving some numericals based upon law of conservation of energy. Let me give you feel initially. Okay, fine. So let us take one simple example here. Okay, so I have one bomb here. What is this? This is a bomb. Somebody has prepared it. Let us take mass of this bomb is 10 kg. Mass of this bomb is 10 kg. Let us take that. Okay. Now, when I throw this bomb, it explodes, no? It explodes into different pieces. Let us assume this has exploded into only 2 pieces. Just one hypothetical situation. So this first piece is having mass of 8 kg. Mass of 8 kg and it started to move with velocity. Its velocity is like, let us take it as first piece and this one as second piece. So velocity v1 is like 10 meter per second. 10 meter per second. Now, if it is 8 kg, so remaining mass will be 2 kg, that is for sure. Now they are asking you, what will be velocity of this? V2 is equal to question mark. Like that they are asking the question. You must have seen all these questions in NCERT. Very important. Okay. So 10 kg mass is of the bomb and it exploded. 8 kg is moving with velocity 10 meter per second and 2 kg is moving with velocity. How much they are asking? Okay. Now, by using law of conservation of momentum, law of conservation of momentum. Okay, you have to write it fully, but I am just writing it in normal terms. Law of conservation of momentum. So what it says? So momentum before collision. Momentum before collision. Momentum before collision is equal to momentum after collision. Momentum after collision. Okay, are you getting my point? We use the shortcuts also in the upcoming classes, but let me tell you now only. Momentum before collision means just write P. P means momentum, just write before collision. Before collision. You can write like this also. Next, momentum after collision. You can write these symbols also. Why I am telling all this is, this will save lot of time of yours, because instead of writing momentum, you can just use the symbol P. Are you getting my point? So momentum before collision means, before collision as in this bomb hasn't exploded yet. So the first piece was having mass 8 kg then only, and second part was having 2 kg only, 8 plus 2. It hasn't exploded, no? So its initial velocity, that is u1, is equal to 0 because it hasn't exploded yet. and its initial velocity, second part, its initial velocity is going to be 0 only. Why? It hasn't exploded yet. That bomb is there, that bomb is having two parts, no, one is 8 kg, another is 2 kg, it is exploding like that. Let us assume that these parts were there and they were there for sure also. So 8 kg and 2 kg, these are the mass m1 and this is the mass m2. And velocity, initial velocity was 0 and initial velocity was 0 also for this also. And when it exploded, it started to move with 10 meter per second. What about its velocity? Now you tell me, it is heavy, no? It is heavy means it is moving with less velocity. So this is light means it should be moving with high velocity. If a truck comes and hits a cycle, what happens with the cycle? Cycle moves with very high speed forward and ends up in having an accident. Are you getting my point, what I am trying to say? Similarly, lesser mass will have more velocity. Definitely this V2 will be greater than 10. Definitely it will be greater than 10. This is heavier and moving with 10. It is lighter, it will be moving with more than 10 meter per second. Okay, let us try to confirm that also with the help of all that law of conservation of momentum. Let's do it. So what will be the formula here? M1 U1 plus M2 U2 is equal to M1 V1 plus M2 V2. This is the formula of law of conservation of momentum. Okay, so M1 U1 is like 8 into what is U1? 0. I should continue there, but that won't get covered now, so it is easy for me to substitute here only. So that's why I am doing it here. So M2 is going to be 2 into U2 is going to be 0. So that is equal to M1 is again 8 into V1 is 10 plus M2 is 2 and V2 I don't know. V2 I am supposed to calculate here. So totally it becomes 0, right? Because 0 plus 0 is 0. So 0 is equal to 8 into 10, 80 plus 2V2. 2V2. Now how to do this? So this is equal to, let me sign this 80 this side. So it becomes minus 80 is equal to 2V2. Okay, so you can cancel here only now. So V2 is equal to minus 80 divided by 2. So what will be the answer for this V2? V2 will be, tell me, minus 80 divided by 2 means minus 40 meter per second. Why it is minus 40? Because it is moving in the opposite direction. Now I told you, this is one direction positive means that opposite direction is always negative. So it is moving with velocity minus 40 meter per second. Very simple now how to understand this. Heavier mass, small velocity, lighter mass, more velocity in the opposite direction. So I got it as minus 40 meter per second. Simple, right guys? Are you understanding what I am trying to say? So law of conservation of momentum is a very important concept. Okay, let me tell you one more here. For example, I have got one gun here. You can draw the gun as you want, but I will be drawing a gun like this. Okay, I have some gun here. Okay, so when I fire, for example, it is having a bullet here. The bullet comes out now. Bullet comes out like this. Yes or no? So when you just trigger this bullet is having some mass that is called mv, mass of bullet, and it will be moving with some velocity vb, final velocity. Now when the bullet was inside this gun, so its mass was of course mv only, and its velocity was ub, and that is equal to 0. What does it mean? So mv mass is there, but initial velocity of the bullet was 0. Why? Because it was at rest, it was inside the gun. Now this gun must be having some mass mg, and its initial velocity is ug, mass of the gun, and initial velocity of the gun is 0 before firing. But when you fire it, what will happen? The bullet will go forward. Bullet will go forward, and there will be kickback force on gun. Gun will recoil back. This is called as recoiling back. That word is used in your inside textbook. Recoiling back means it is coming backwards. So mass of the gun will remain mg only, and velocity of the bullet will final velocity of the gun, it will be having some value. Now before collision, after collision, we have to apply this concept. This is everything related to what? Bullet, and this is everything related to what? Gun. So sum of momentum before collision and after collision, that also we can do. Okay, fine. So I will explain this in detail in the next class. No need to worry about this. Whatever problem I have solved, whatever derivation I have done, you please see that. But this problem will be discussed in next class. No need to worry at all, my dear children. Okay. So keep on watching all these videos. Thank you very much. Have a good day.